So we found this island, this very large island, and it is apparently there was some disease that caused people to develop slimes within them or something.
Or more specifically, it causes an aberration of some kind to grow within them.
Well, slimes, oozes, and stuff. Those are aberrations.
Are they?
Yeah.
I
I don't
wouldn't.
think oozes are. I think oozes are technically monstrosities.
Well,
Oh,
those
are we in
of that
character?
like. I'm doing
Nah,
kind of a recap,
Oh,
and apparently there was this contingent of paladins that was on this
no.
island.
Oo- Oozes are considered to be oozes.
Oh, they're their own type. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, there was this contingent of paladins that was around, and apparently there's only one survivor. We found another one, but he had already been oozified, and we had to put him down. Um, but there was this other one named Lyle who was hidden in a cave alcove place,
Lyle
and
is the name of the one you killed.
oh, the other one didn't have a name, right?
His name. He told you to call him the Last Light.
Right.
Okay, I'm back.
Because he's the last
welcome
paladin in
back.
that group. Hey. And yeah, and he just finished praying, probably trying to pray for the souls of those that he lost. And yeah, that's pretty much where we left.
All right.
Huh.
What are y'all doing?
Hmm. Elle's actually gonna be folding cards while, I guess, watching Last Light fray, and then we'll look
Okay.
to Bloom Hollow. What's Gloom Hollow doing?
She was also praying, trying to shepherd the lost souls to the afterlife along with the last light. But since she doesn't know the exact prayer, she was just kind of just doing a general prayer for safety and redemption.
All right. I'll back off and look over to Hubert. You
Hubert will look back at you.
you fought that thing, right? I didn't really get much of a good look at it. What
I
was
did.
it?
I'm uncertain. According to Jubilee, it was an aberration of some sort, but it was able to eat away at equipment, apparently.
Hmm. That reminds me of the cultists, actually. Or at least what the puppeteer tends to do. Forming aberrations inside of people.
I am uncertain as to what the creature itself was, I'm afraid. It
Me
was very
neither.
odd.
Hold on. Don't you have the monster manual?
I do, however, there was no indication of what it could have been.
Well, take a look. Maybe you'll find something that you could spot or recognize.
I will redouble my efforts and look again.
Thank you.
Oh, it's back.
What's back?
I think Discord had a seizure for me briefly. Because everything just went very quiet.
Oh, okay.
George is gonna just wait and look at Last Line Wait until he's done praying.
It goes on for a while until eventually he raises his head and stands up before looking to you all.
You don't mind me asking, Mr. Last Light, why did these attacks start happening?
Years ago. I'm not certain of how many to be exact anymore. I have been sealed away for a while.
Well, it's understandable. And I'm sorry if this is already asked, but when did you discover that those things were starting to come to?
Once again, years ago. But I'm
Or I
still.
guess how would be the question I'm asking there.
Are you asking how? Are you asking how we discovered there was a disease?
Yeah.
Well, it started off fairly simple. We went to a small hamlet. They were suffering from an illness. They were suffering from an illness, one that seemed fairly simple, just a fever. And whenever we whenever we went to them, we began attempting to heal them. Their fevers would not break, they would not fade, and over the course of time, they began developing rashes, and the rashes developed into something worse.
What happened after the rashes? Well, after worse.
They became something unrecognizable. The rashes seemed to overtake their bodies, raw skin exposed to air, and they became violent and lashed out at anything alive. Man, woman, child, animal. Nothing was safe from their ravenous claws.
Did it ever seem like whenever you guys looked over that something else was like crawling underneath their skin or anything like that?
As far as I am aware, there was nothing crawling under their skin.
Okay. Can George roll a history check to see if any of the symptoms that he's mentioning here matched what happened when we went to the prison with the three cultists?
Sure. Roll history. Why? While you're discussing it, uh, you don't remember the people who were talking about their conversion suffering from fevers, from best you can remember. For them, it sort of happens. While they felt pain, they didn't suffer any symptoms of, say, an infection like he is discussing.
Huh. Huh. Okay. That doesn't match anything that we saw back in Haven, so. Well, it's not to my knowledge.
I am unfamiliar with this city, or place of dwelling I assume you come from.
Yeah, it's my home, and recently we dealt with people who were infected with something similar where their bodies could become something different after a certain amount of time. So I was trying to see if it matched what we had dealt with there.
That sounds rather unfortunate. I'm sorry you had to deal with such atrocities.
Yeah, we managed to just save them before anything worse could happen.
Then you are lucky. There is no such thing as saving from this disease. Once you are infected, that is the end.
How do you get infected?
From what we know, if a creature manages to hit you and lacerate you, cutting your skin, that could risk your infection.
If we stop it in the early stages, is it possible to cure?
Not as far as I have been able to tell. Our lay on hands could not stop it. Medicines could not stop it.
What about greater and lesser restoration?
Even the restorations could not cease its activities.
That is concerning.
When you become infected, you are not turned immediately. But from what I have seen, it is agonizing.
That might be. Huh. Did we try any of the restorations with the cultists that we saw before?
I think no. What did we do?
We ended up finding the parasite that was in them, and we managed to banish it away. There was also that one doctor that was able to somehow extract it himself.
Dr. Kane, yes. We don't have him here with us, though we can contact him.
We could, but how long would it take for him to get to somewhere like here?
It wouldn't have to get here. He would just have to tell us how he did it. And someone with steady enough hands, actually Pat Hubert, should be able to redo what he did. As far as I'm aware, Dr. Kane doesn't have any magic. It's all just tools.
We could also try the banishment tactic that Aurora used.
Yes, yes, we will do that.
By all accounts, if it's similar in that regards, where the infection is more like a parasite or another being that is, I guess, going through the host's body, then that's probably why restorations don't work, because it isn't really. Well, it could be just a disease. It could also be just a parasite.
I guess we will keep that in mind. It's a good thing that we stopped and found last light then. If we came across that with no idea what we were running into.
Yeah. What's happening? Aldo's gonna think back. Were there any? Can you think back to anything that his father might have mentioned about infections or anything like that? If he ever explained that to him?
Not, there is nothing similar to matching descriptions from what your father has taught you.
Okay. Well, I guess we should also inform everyone else then once they get here.
Yes.
You are bringing more to this wretched place.
Yes. I'm not sure if I had mentioned it previously, but we're here to find something in order to deal with a lich pirate.
How unfortunate. The more you bring, the more you risk falling to the infection.
That's why we want to wait for them to get here so we can inform them of what's going on.
Hold on. Ale is going to send a sending to, Rodriguez. Rodriguez, hold on sending people here. There's an infectious disease.
We are already over halfway there.
Look, if you feel that you can protect your people from a disease that is a almost certain death upon being lacerated by something, feel free to bring them. But I think it's best that you hold off for now.
Roll persuasion.
Alright.
He's quiet for a while. You assume he is talking to his crew before eventually he says, "After taking a quick vote, my crew would prefer to watch over the ship."
Good. If we need support, I'd suggest sending one or two, but not an entire crew.
Then I will send you my boys. One of them seems rather eager to explore, the other one does not like to be without the other.
Alright, we will wait here for them.
It will take a little while. We have to head back to the ship before they can come ashore again.
Alright.
Lest I send them to swim the rest of the way.
We're fine waiting. I'll then turn to the others. I spoke with Rodriguez. He'll only be sending his sons. The rest will stay on the boat. Lessens the chance of catching the disease.
True, but I'm just gonna think for a second. You should probably warn them of the symptoms just in case anything manages to get to them on the ship.
I'm not sure. If it was capable of leaving this island, then don't you think you would have heard about it?
It could also be the case that no one came to visit this island after the attacks started happening. Or whoever was here managed to escape the island before the infection could get anywhere else. And now we're going to have a ship that's going to be posted near the island for a while. We don't know how far these can go.
Oh boy, Discord is just dying today, huh?
Like it.
Alright, hold on. Let me see.
Yeah, might have to change. Just
Oh,
Hello?
Hi.
hello?
Yeah, reset the voice channel's audio server. Well, region server, so it should be better now.
Oh, there was chaos.
He left.
Chaos left, brother.
I
He
didn't
left
know
a
he
while
left. Wait,
ago.
what?
yeah, he was not feeling well.
Oh, okay. Although I'm just now noticing that. Wow.
What a dick.
Damn, bro.
I genuinely thought he was here and just was being quiet while we were talking.
Nope.
Well, I feel that they will be fine over there. But yes, I will send them a message. And it will send another sending explaining the symptoms of the disease to Rodriguez.
Alright.
Otto's going to put his hand up.
Yes, Otto?
Mr. Last Light, do you know if there were any, like, doctors or specific team of people that were kind of working on the disease? And where they might have been staying at? I'm curious if they might have had any notes on anything that might help us also better understand what's going on.
I have to make him roll something for that.
Is it like he's thinking?
Yeah.
Otto's going to take a couple steps forward, and whatever he rolls, Otto's going to flash of genius it.
I vaguely remember a group of, I presume, to be doctors. They were They were seemingly studying the science of it and applying different medicines, but nothing ever came of it, I don't think. Especially since it spread as rapidly as it did. And the gods know how far it spread since I've been sealed away.
That's fine. I just want to check their notes to see if there's anything we can potentially learn from it at all.
Presuming we are able to even find them. There's also no guarantee. There's also no guarantee that they will be based where they were previously. We can hope that there is.
Yeah, hopefully. Maybe some kind of clue as to where they're at if they escaped.
Last light.
Yes.
What's the last thing you remember of outside world news from this island? Not from this island, but from Crestfall.
I don't know what Crestfall is. I have lived my entire life on this island.
Oh. So you didn't hear about Melky or Rashi or...
I, once again, have lived my entire life on this island.
Alright, well, that's not going to help with Tom. Trying to figure out when this all happened. Oh well.
He did say it happened a few years ago.
He has been stuck in a room, a very dark room, for who knows how long. And he's a... Hold on. Was he an elf? Last light?
No, he is a human.
Okay.
But he is a human that has seemingly functional immortality because he does not need food or water to stay alive.
Yeah, but it's not like he doesn't age. Wait, how old does he look? How old did he look?
About mid-40s-ish.
Oh, bother. Last light.
Yes.
Do you age?
I do, but not as quickly as others. I would say that my lifespan is double, maybe 2.5 times that of a normal human.
Goodness gracious. I cannot figure out any way to decipher what or when you were trapped in that room.
Unfortunately, due to me being trapped within the room, I was not able to see sunlight nor evenings. I am unable to assist in this.
Yes, it's fine.
Here's the thing for a second. Do you think we should ask Benos about the puppeteer?
Do you know about the puppeteer, Last light?
I am uncertain as to why somebody whose profession it is to play with puppets has to do with this.
It's a very long story.
Well, have you ever... He's not similar to X, is he? Where if you say his name, he all of a sudden gets angry?
No.
Something happens? Okay. As the name... Have you ever heard the name Marcus Evergreen spoken while you were here?
I'm afraid not. That name is unfamiliar to me. And now, after answering a few of your inquiries, I have one of my own. What happened to the armor of my compatriot that you slew?
I don't know, actually. She looks at you.
I believe it's
It seemed rather thoroughly damaged, unfortunately.
If it is not destroyed, then I would like to make use of it to at least give my friend some sort of semblance of a burial.
it should still be in the cave. Last I remember, I don't think anyone moved it at all, unless Beastie did anything with the helmet.
I believe our dwarven friend examined it, but then probably placed it back where he found it.
Then, if you'll excuse me, he says as he begins walking. Beastie, do you still have the armor?
She sure does.
You see an armored figure walk up to you, seeming to notice that you are messing with it as he comes up and looks down at you.
Beastie, who was just looking at the helmet, looks up at him and stares for a bit.
Might I have that armor?
Who you?
I am the last light.
The what? You don't look light to me. And she points to her glowing fists. These look light to me.
He'll then take his warhammer, taps it on his armor 2 times, and you see 2 candle-looking effigies on his shoulders ignite in flame.
Oh. Okay, Candle. What's your one's armor for?
That belonged to an ally of mine. I wish to give him a burial.
Oh, okay. Then she'll hand over.
Thank you.
But,
Eh,
do you have hat?
I only have my helm, and I'm afraid I cannot give it to you.
And me keeping this, she says, pointing at the helmet.
Beastie, please give the man some respect.
Me, I'm giving him respect. Me gave him everything except the head.
The next time I come across a hat, I will give it to you immediately if you give him the helmet.
She looks over at the last light to see if he still wants the helmet.
He seems to be trying to think of a way to get it.
She will sigh and will hand over the helmet.
Thank you. And he takes the helmet before turning back and going back into the cave.
You better get me a good hat, George.
Yeah.
Wow, used his real name.
Beastie's been using George's name since he managed to avenge his dad.
What's happening? George is gonna go inside the cave to where he can at least see, and we'll just stay by the exit.
You see the last light. You hear him muttering to himself as he is slowly piling the armor at the very back wall. He takes out 2 candles from his pack, them made from a yellow tinted wax that's mostly white but has a hint of yellow to it. He sets 1 candle on each side of the armor before igniting the flames, where he then sits, continuing to mutter, you presume his prayer, as he watches the armor for now.
I'll just stand and just continue watching. Doesn't want to disturb him in any way. So I was just keeping an eye out to make sure nothing happens, or the fucking aberration doesn't do some last minute attack.
Um, DM, quick question.
Quick answer.
Um, I may have missed it, but did he describe what the aberration was?
He doesn't know. He didn't see the aberration.
Okay. But it was something with claws, yeah?
No, Hubert had the claws.
Oh, okay.
That he was saying that there is an infection that if somebody who is infected by it manages to claw you and cut you, you have the risk of becoming infected.
So like a zombie bite type thing.
Kinda.
Got it.
Zombie bite, lycanthropy, any other.
Well, except for vampirism, but you know.
I mean, technically, getting bitten by a vampire risks turning you into one. So.
Well, yeah, but you know it's a little bit more. It's a little bit more of an intensive process with vampirism, but yeah.
Yes and no, because all it requires is draining of blood and then burying the body. That's the only intensive process that comes from it.
Yeah.
And
Better
then
than
you have,
takes longer than just mauling someone.
depending on what lore you go with, draining someone's blood but not burying them turns them into a ghoul.
Yes. Those are spooky. Hmm. So, are our marching orders still what we planned to do, or are we taking yet another detour?
We are waiting up until the twins arrive.
Ah, yes, them. It's going to be interesting when they show up.
Oh shit. While they're waiting, George is just gonna, out of curiosity, he's gonna pull up the compass and see where it's pointing to.
Pointing inwards towards the island.
Okay.
And the people standing on top of the ritual altar, you do see the small sloop coming in with Ricardo and Romero.
Ah, there they are. We'll go down to greet them. Oh shit, cat guys. Cat bros.
Hello, hello. Ricardo says, as it appears he was the one who was rowing, getting the sloop onto shore. He hops out as Romero pushes the boat into the sand and says, "Whew, that was quite the workout."
It appears we have a situation.
Wonderful. A good one or a bad one?
Bad.
Yes, quite.
Great.
It involves an aberration and a paladin troop that has been almost completely decimated.
Well, that's quite unfortunate.
Indeed, there seems to be only one survivor, a last light, if you will. That is what we call him.
That is what he
and-
called himself.
Well, and we call him that as well. But he has said that there is a disease on this island, one that infects and ultimately slays anyone that it comes in contact with through scratches or bites. It is similar to those of lycanthropy or a zombie plague.
Ah, there's nothing more thrilling than having to deal with something so terrible.
You could say that.
Well, it's either keep a positive outlook or, not. And I would prefer to keep the positive outlook.
It's one of the only ways we don't go completely insane.
Going completely insane is fun too sometimes.
On occasion. And Thorgrim just looks at Elby like, So, now that you are here, what is the course of action?
It's a very good question. I was under the assumption that I was following you.
Once the last light is finished tending to his friend's grave, we will leave. He agreed to be our guide.
Are we sure that he's going to lead us where we want to go or where he wants to go?
He agreed to lead us where we want to go. Besides, given his current interests, I feel he's going to want to go along with us.
Ricardo will just shrug a bit to this as he has not met the man. I will take your personal expert opinion on this.
Very well.
Well, you'll meet him eventually. He seems abrasive at first, but I assure you he's a good man.
Later down the line, you find out he's actually just really...
Yeah, he just has a rocking charisma mod.
But eventually, he does exit the cave where George appears to be brain dead as Jay had to burp again. As he comes out, he once again takes his helmet off and slides it back. You notice that he appears to have straps that are keeping it from falling to the ground behind him as he walks out.
Hello, last light. And she gestures over to the two.
I still am nervous about bringing more onto this island, but I suppose the more help we have, the better, even if it does pose a higher risk.
There are pros and cons to every situation.
So, Dale's going to show him the compass. Last light, what is off in this direction?
He looks, and other than what this island has possibly become, I am uncertain. Until such a point as we get closer and I can see landmarks, I don't know where the compass is pointing you. I do know that my journey will be to a tower. It used to be our cathedral, and I need to make my way to it.
Really? I thought you were going to stick with us.
I will travel with you for a time, but if our paths have to separate, I must go to the cathedral. I have a ritual I must commence.
A ritual that does what?
He seems hesitant to tell you, but eventually he says, "You saved me from my confinement. It is a ritual that will purge everything from this island. I cannot risk the infection spreading to the rest of the world."
Okay. In which case, can I ask you do that once we leave?
I have no intentions of doing it while you are on the island, unless you yourselves become infected, at which point I will have no choice.
In which case, wouldn't it be better for you to come with us? That way you'd make sure we don't get infected.
He watches you for a minute and says, unless you have more concrete arguments than that, I am afraid that is not enough to sway my opinion.
Well, look at it this way. If you're coming with us, not only are you helping pay the debt of us rescuing you, but you're making sure more people do not get infected. I know that you do not want to kill us if you do not have to, so protecting us from getting infected so you don't have to kill us seems like it would be the best course of action, don't you think?
Roll persuasion.
Can George try to assist?
What do you have to say?
If I can also add, you've also been trapped away for years, and you do not know if there are any survivors on this island as well. If you were to purge this island, you'd also be potentially killing innocents as well.
Roll persuasion.
With advantage or...
Just persuasion.
Bruh.
As I said, I will travel with you for some time. I will think about what you have to say. But it will be a long while before we will be diverting paths from one another, I assure you.
Very well.
Does it seem like Last Light reacted to what George said at all, or did he just kind of brush it off?
From what you can tell, what you had to say seems more like an optimistic view to him rather than something that could be concrete. He seems fairly certain that there's not a life to be saved on this island.
Well, with that out of the way, I was going to sign in for the stairs. No more reason to stick around here. Let's go.
Agree.
Isela will walk along while looking to her glowing hands, wondering when they will stop.
Not for an entire 24 hours.
Oh boy.
Or you glow until your next long rest, so.
Alright. So, where are we?
Hold on. I forgot to grab one of y'all's tokens. But I can fix that. You are... here-ish.
Okay. Which direction is the compass pointing in?
The compass is pointing you that way.
Oh boy. Okay. So, how many squares should I move? Is it still one?
Well, especially since this is about midday, yes, you'll be moving 1 square a day.
Oh my god, I thought this place was small!
It is small, but
that
you're
is
also
midday, so
you're also traveling on foot.
Oh yeah, that is true. I forget that we typically fly. Well, moved 1 square forward.
Hold on. going to prep a map. So, your travels as you move from one square to the next are fairly simple. You don't encounter any issues as you're walking along. Not only that, but you don't notice any animal life. You don't hear the sounds of birds. You don't see the smaller creatures moving about in the thick foliage of the wild that you're moving through. And as the sun begins to set, you come to a forest, and as you look around, you notice the trees are barren. They don't appear to have any leaves on them. And as this happens, the last light looks to the sky and says, I think we should cease our travels for the time being.
Very well.
This will be a good place for you all to rest. I will scout the perimeter. You all try to find a way to make yourselves comfortable.
Don't go
I hope
alone.
I am capable, but I do hope you have a means of provisions. I would not eat anything of this land. I would not drink of its water, nor indulge yourself of its of the meat of animals or the vegetation.
Has
You have-
everything been infected?
I would not recommend taking a risk. If you have a means of producing your own food and water, that is how I would recommend you feed yourselves. If you have rations or stores of water on your person, I would recommend you consume those. I would not recommend consuming anything of the land, even under dire circumstances.
Very well.
A full belly is not worth the price of what you become if you become infected. And with that, he turns and begins to go on his search of the perimeter.
I'll lean over. You bird?
Yes.
Follow him, but try not to be seen. If he does get into trouble, be sure to help him.
Of course.
All right. Gloom Hollow?
He's burped.
Oh. Well, I guess once he's back, Edo will ask her to make the thingy again.
What do y'all do in the meantime?
Beastie's just gonna be looking around and sniffing. What does the place smell like?
It smells barren. The trees that are sitting around smell as if they are firewood. You do not smell the usual scent of forestry from them. They smell barren, stale, dry.
This place dead, says Beastie.
It is kind of dreary looking, isn't it?
Hmm? No, this place is not a deer. It's dead.
I said dreary, not deary.
She looks at him. She looks at him like he's speaking another language. Anyway, me think that this place is opposite. Nothing can live here.
Wonderful. Even more fantastic news that we have to deal with.
We don't think it's a very fantastic news.
You don't understand sarcasm very well, do you?
Huh?
Sarcasm.
We don't see any chasms around here.
Right. Okay. Duly noted.
We see then's gonna go around and start looking at, like, these things. What are they?
They just appear to be various pieces of lumber. You notice that they seem like they had been pieces that were stacked for potential firewood piles, but they also look very old. They look very old, worn to the weather. They have not been touched in a very long time.
Beastie's gonna squint at it. Then we'll pick it up and try. And we'll just, like, try and break it in half, like a candy bar.
It snaps in half fairly easily.
Oh. Is the wood Is the wood rotten?
You'll have to roll a nature check for that.
Alright.
It does not appear to be.
That's odd.
In fact, not only does it not appear to be rotten, you don't think you've noticed any mushrooms since you've been exploring this area.
That's very odd. Beastie's just gonna be staring at the wood, like, and doing almost math calculations in her head. Then she turns to the others. Everything here is dead.
Welcome back.
Hello.
Hello.
Are we exploring for spooky things?
Not exactly. The last Light and Huberts have gone to look over the perimeter. Beastie is fairly certain that everything in this place is dead, and we're resting for today.
Okay. So we did a lot of traveling already then?
You've
Somewhat.
traveled 1 square,
Oh, okay. So it's been about a day's worth of travel.
half a day.
Okay. Alright, so we pitch in a tent here, or?
Yes.
Alright.
Also, according to the last light, he stated that you will need to use any personal provisions you have, and not eat anything of the land, whether it be beast, or vegetation, or water.
Fair enough.
So, do we want to camp, or do we want to use the giant mansion that we can normally use?
I believe that's what she meant. But, yes. Also, just be sure, Gloom Hollow, you can make food in your mansion, right?
Have you not had several meals in the mansion already?
Yes, but I'm just making sure that I'm not misremembering.
The mansion comes stocked with food, water, and everything.
Very well.
Mansion away.
And-
And she looks to the twins and is just like, all right, watch this. And she, does the thing where she like places the door in thin air and it just like stays there, and then she opens it like she's opening a real door, and then there's a,
As you conjure the door, Ricardo and Romero will both do a golf clap-esque clapping, as they do seem very fascinated with what you did.
it's even more fascinating on the inside. Come on, come on.
And as you're ushering them in, you'll hear footsteps as the last light will come walking back and says, I believe the perimeter is secure for the time being.
Thank you, Last Light.
Excellent. Well, as an extra measure of safety, I have conjured an extra dimensional space if you are comfortable.
I may stay in it for some time, but I will have to do periodic checks around to ensure that when morning comes, it will be safe for us to travel again.
That is all right. The mansion stays active for 24 hours, so that should be no issue.
Eventually, everyone will be ushered into the mansion.
Yes.
Alright. All heading on in, Beastie will look to Hubert. Hey, Gloomy, everything here is dead.
It seems that way.
Not even mushrooms. Or tiny, tiny bugs.
Yes, I believe I have seen that.
So that means if we do see anything, it's probably gonna be an oozy thingy.
Also seems to be that way. Yes.
Also, according to the Bravey Cat, there's a chasm around here.
He just looks to you as you say this.
Yes, a sarcasm. We never heard of that kind of chasm before, but we should
We-
maybe be careful.
We should really get you another headband.
Huh?
Don't worry about it.
It must be so much fun playing with someone who's just so smart and yet so not smart at the same time.
It is quite funny playing an idiot.
Charlie Wall is my favorite character because of how dumb he was.
Well, I mean, it allows you to do some like really weird shit you never would do.
Yes.
I was told I could pick the weapon of the duel. I picked surprise.
I guess while in the mansion, Beastie will bug Hubert again for another duel training.
All right. Well, athletics.
Alright, Beastie. Holy moly.
Would you look at that? You might actually have a chance.
All right. So, Beastie, as you go at Hubert, he moves a bit faster than you're usually expecting of him, as it takes him a minute, but he does end up winning your sparring contest.
Wow.
Beastie grunts and will slowly gets up and stretch.
What is it?
I'm wondering when we first learned one of your moves.
What do you mean? I don't have any moves.
Yes, you do.
Like,
Like this. And she makes a stabbing motion like with a dagger.
you are already capable of doing that.
Not like you.
Are you referring to when he adds in the extra oomph to it, Beastie?
No. He no want do that kind of magic. He just want do his fight thing. He fights very uniquely.
I wouldn't say that. He just knows exactly where to stab a guy to make him go ow the loudest.
Yeah, that. Me don't know how to do that. Me only have a good idea of where to do that.
It's very
What?
impractical, Thorgrim. If I stab them where they can say ow the loudest, that gives me away.
Fair point. Stab them so that they don't say ow and they just fall over. That better?
Really feels like you grossly underestimated my capabilities.
Oh no. I mean, I'm the description is simple. Actually doing it, I mean, I wouldn't be able to do that. I mean, why do you think I have this big ass thing? And he holds up his hammer. I mean, you have the precision, you have the accuracy, you have the anatomical knowledge. All I just have to do is swing this thing down and boom, your skull's a watermelon, you know?
You're not very stealthy, are you?
Have I ever been?
I can't really answer that question.
I mean, out of all the times you've known me, have I been someone who appreciates the fine art of stealthing like you?
I don't think I've ever seen you attempt to be stealthy, except for once where you attempted to follow me.
Yes, and very clearly was noticed almost immediately. Point is, like Adel said, we all have our strengths. You have precision, accuracy, and stealth, and the rest of the group has other things. But that just means that the stuff that we're good at needs to be celebrated.
We still slightly grumble. And me asked to train with Gloomy. Me thought that me have the same training as Gloomy, but Gloomy don't want to do that to me for some reason.
I wasn't really trained, Beastie.
Some people just learn on their own.
He no learn on his own. She says while looking to her.
The training I had was not training that others can go through.
Says you. Me bet me could do it.
No.
Jeep just makes more grumbling noises.
Do you think you could say that to everybody else?
Say what?
I can do that.
No.
As long as I go through their kind of training, I can do what they do.
Oh. Yes.
To everyone in this group.
Yes.
I don't know how disrespectful you think you sound, but you sound very disrespectful right now.
Beastie looks confused. What do you mean?
It's
Any-
not really disrespectful. She does have a point. If you go down the same path as someone else, you can, in fact, do what they do. It's just a situation of what I went through to be able to do what I am able to do is not something that can be emulated.
But not only that, if you manage to, let's say, Beastie, you trained for, I don't know, 50 years to be as good as Hubert. Let's say that, for example. Even if you trained as well as Hubert had trained, you know, for as long as Hubert had trained, Hubert would still be better than you. You know why?
Well, yes, because if he did it for 50 years and then me do it wait, and she counts on her fingers. Yes, because if he still do it and I did it before, then that means he done it more than I did.
Yeah, he would still exceed you no matter what.
So,
So try to be different.
me, I'm already different.
Continue to be different then, because that way you can do something that nobody else does.
Beastie will fold her arms behind her head. Me no understand. Me trying to do what me do, just doing it better. And me can do it better by learning from Gloomy.
I mean, if you think so.
Me
But-
know so. Me
I'm
learn
not so
strong.
sure.
Me learn being stronger, learning from Zardak. And Zardak no fight like me. And me get magic because of weird tattoo thingies. But me still get stronger because of it. And me no do magic.
Now it's Thorgrim's turn to kind of do the face.
Me never just grow stronger by doing same thing over and over and over again. While it's important, what is more important is learning new things too. So you can add new things to your old things and make your old things new things. So you can do your old things even better.
Huh.
Beastie will not.
Well, now I'm confused.
Silly dwarf, she says while patting him on the back. It's okay. Many
I'm gonna go to my
people will
room.
get confused at my smartness.
I'm gonna go to my room and drink. And he just leaves.
Beastie will nod. And look to Hubert. Me think that he learned something today.
I think
Maybe.
Beastie just undid all the things Adel said.
Yes.
It's possible.
That way, Gloomy, teach me how to stab like you.
I've already been teaching you how to fight.
Me no say fight, me say stab.
rather easy. You just take a dagger and you stick it into someone.
Show me.
I don't have a participant to show you how to do it.
She just spreads her arms.
No.
Why?
Why would I?
Me thought you liked stabbing things.
I do, but now is not the stabbing time.
When is the stabbing time?
When it's time to stab.
When is it time to stab?
When it's stabbing time.
And when is stabbing time?
This went on for several hours.
It sure fucking did.
One eternity later.
And I was just stares at this going on, and then will very slowly walk away. Well said.
You know what?
I am glad that Hubert has found a friend.
You know what, Beastie? Here. And Hubert will hand you a piece of paper. Any questions you have, just look at the piece of paper.
She looks at the paper.
And it says when it's stabbing time.
Oh my god.
She'll turn it over and write something on it, and then we'll hand it back.
On the back, it says when it's time to stab.
Oh my god, he's done the thing.
She grumbles. It seems she has been checkmated.
And Hubert will then follow Adelsterde.
See, you have changed, said Adel.
What do you mean?
You didn't stab her.
Why would I?
Because you like stabbing people that annoy you.
You do not prefer when I kill without reason.
You're right, I don't. But I do know you know how to stab without killing people.
Yes, but then I would get blood all over Elvie's floor. We wouldn't want to have to deal with bloodstains.
Thank you for being respectful of my floor.
Your excuses are noted, Hubert, but I know you like the goblin.
If you say so.
I do say so, because it is true. I sometimes feel you treat her as if you were a sibling.
I feel like I would be more violent with a sibling.
Don't you fight her on an almost daily basis now?
Yes, but I don't kill her.
I don't know. Your bond seems very sibling-like to me. It's like a little sister that annoys you.
I'm afraid I do not see it.
Well, this place still gives me concern.
As it should. It's a very strange place to be.
I did not think something like this could infect plant life.
We are uncertain if we are in the area where the plant life may be infected.
Sorry, can you say that again?
We are uncertain if we are in the area where plant life has been affected.
Well, if even mushrooms can't grow here.
That just means that nothing has died in this area in a long, long time.
Oh. But then that means nothing has moved here either.
Correct. Then there may be claim, unfortunately, to that paladin's words or to what he thinks about there being no life to be saved.
Well, at least it will make it less concerning if I start another forest fire. Actually, wait. If all the trees are dead, I probably will start a pretty bad fire now that I think about it.
As I believe it would be less of a forest fire and more of a wildfire.
Sometimes I am worried about my affinity for flames.
Why is that?
Terrible servant. Wait, no. A terrible master. What a great servant fire is.
I personally don't feel like you can control fire enough to utilize it to the fullest potential.
You think I can control fire that well?
I said that I couldn't. Or, I guess I did make it a little too general, but even in certain circumstances, there are places where your fire will run rampant, even beyond your control.
Yes, like when we're fighting goblins.
Or if we're in a forest that is filled with dead trees.
Yes, the amount of times I've started forest fires in the past few months alone greatly outranks how many I've set in the years that we've been together. It's just strange. One might ponder if there is a weakness to my fighting style.
The weakness to your fighting style is the environment you use it in.
Yes. It can hurt even the most resistant of creatures with my flames, but, well. And she just shrugs. I'll just have to rely on my orb of frost or my dark ether for the time being.
I suppose you could do that if that's what you want to do.
What, do you have other ideas?
You could just continue using the flames.
I'd rather not potentially burn down everyone around me.
And that's your choice to make.
No squints. Okay, Mr. Contrarian, I can see where this discussion is going.
How so?
You're just going to say the opposite of everything I say.
I would never.
Oh, shush.
Sorry, I just got back. Oh, hey, Luna.
Hi, Luna.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm still waking up. Give me a minute.
Good morning.
Does anybody else have anything they want to do for the evening?
Or just is gonna do his daily and contact his mother.
Gotta call Mom, hang on.
Yeah. Hold on, I gotta yawn. It takes a minute, but eventually you hear her say, "Hello again, George. How are your travels?"
It's been good. We've made it to the island we needed to make it to.
That's good news.
Apparently, it appears to be very disconnected from Crestfall. The paladin we met here doesn't know anything about Crestfall or has never even heard of it.
Not everywhere knows of Crestfall, George. If you were to go to a different land, nobody would know who you were.
So that's fair.
It's rather silly to think they would know of this city.
Well, Crestfall, the continent, not Haven.
It's silly to think they would know of that too. Think of how many days you had to travel to get where you are.
I suppose that's fair. Anyway, I don't know if you've heard of anything like this during your time on Crestfall, but do any of these things sound familiar to you? And then he'll kind of go through like the symptoms of everything that the paladin has explained of what happens with people on the island.
Those symptoms are very generic, George. I mean, even something as simple as a cold will generate you a fever and rashes in certain circumstances.
I understand that, but I'm talking about when this fever or this infection tends to go further than that and cannot simply be cured. Like from what he's telling me, no restoration cures it. Their lay on hands doesn't cure it. And then after a certain time, they turn into something completely different.
I'm afraid that's beyond even my understanding. I've never known of anything as such.
Huh. Okay. Well, it was worth mentioning at least.
Be safe. If at any point you think yourself in danger, I ask that you leave that island at once.
I will remain safe.
Good.
Anyway, how's Haven been?
It is well. Nothing to report. Everything is going rather swimmingly.
Well, that's good. Well, I should get some sleep then, and make sure this last light guy doesn't end up dying before he completes what he wants to do.
Yes, it would be such a shame for a paladin of his ilk to have that occur to him. Be safe on your journey.
Anyway, well, one last thing.
Yes.
Am I guess me and Adel had this kind of conversation, but am I somehow in some way related to death?
Not in the way that she is suggesting, no. You have to remember, I was created by death, but no, you are not related to her. Because I do not see death as a mother. She is not a mother. She's my creator. I am no more related to her than a doll created by your hands is related to you.
Yeah, that's what I figured, but we got into a conversation about whether or not that means we're related in some form or fashion. I was hoping that wasn't the case, because if that was the case, that would make things between me and Eddie awkward, I think. It'd make things even more awkward.
You are not related to death, I assure you.
Out of character, but what if I wanted to be?
But what if?
Alright then, Mother. I will leave you to it then.
Very well, have a good day. But what if I wanted to be? You gain no benefit from this. But also no.
Then he'll cut the call. Every time I say he'll cut the call, I just imagine it being like the little Discord disconnect button.
Boom.
Anybody else have anything they want to do for the evening?
I'm trying to think of something, but I just can't.
Nothing from Beastie.
Alright. In that case, I need to do some rolls.
Oh no.
Let's see. Alright. So, I suppose we will be going to the next morning. You can wake up in whatever order you would like.
Alright. Still get up and we'll head out. Her room. Look around.
There, you are in the hallway, and you see down the hall where the dining area is. You already see Hubert, very much awake, sitting at the table, drinking his coffee.
Hey, Gloomy, he says while taking a seat.
Hello, Beastie. What is it?
Nothing.
Very well.
Actually, where's Candleman?
I believe he is on a patrol.
Yeah. We'll go say hi. Out she heads.
Okay.
Oh yeah, she's not glowing anymore.
So George will wake up and he'll head towards the kitchen.
Alright. You enter the dining area where you see Beastie leaving and Hubert sitting at the table.
Where's Beastie going?
I believe she is going to go sit with the paladin.
What are the odds you think she asked the paladin to fight?
I would say it's a non-zero chance.
George will roll his eyes and will also start heading outside the mansion.
Hubert
Is that the
has
hot paladin? I forgot.
Yes, it is.
Hubert has successfully continued to have his alone time.
Fight me. No. Okay.
Alright, who's next?
Is Aurelia just randomly in the dining hall as well?
I guess.
Hello, it's me.
Hello, Mr. Man. How are you?
I am well. And you?
I am good. I was playing with my hourglass.
Oh, really?
Yes.
What occurred while you were playing with your hourglass?
Time.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm. What you reading?
I am reading a storybook about a. I am reading a storybook about a strange world where machinery thrives and magic does not exist.
That sounds very bland. Read it out loud for me. I'm gonna lay on the table.
I will not, he says, looking at you as you lay on the table and then back to his book.
Fine. I'm going to protest. I'm going to lay here.
Very well.
Okay. It's gonna be real awkward when people walk out of the rooms and they see me on the table. I'm laying here.
I will take my chances.
Okay.
Who's next?
I'm crossing my arms too.
I suppose I shall wake up eventually. And after reciting my morning prayers and preparing my spellbook for the day's events, I shall proceed to the dining hall.
You see Hubert reading a book, and Aurelia, I assume, is laying on her back with her arms crossed, staring at the back of Hubert's book.
Mm-hmm.
Good morning, Hubert.
Good morning, Elvie.
And how are you this morning?
I am well.
Good to
And you?
I could be better, but I am merely concerned.
What is the matter, Miss Gloomhollow?
I was merely thinking of the last light in his predicament. I have a bit of an empathic side, you see.
I see.
But I'm sure we will fix that issue at some point.
Only time will tell of that one.
Indeed. Then she'll look over Hubert's shoulder to Aurelia and just say, "Good morning, Aurelia."
Good morning. I can't break my focus.
Why not?
I'm trying to read through the book.
That seems mildly disrespectful.
Well, he won't read it to me.
He does not have to.
Know what it's about. It's about machinery.
Do you know who would be much more willing to talk to you about machinery?
Which one?
Do you know our little rabbit friend, Otto?
Which one is that again?
The one with the long ears.
Oh! Yeah, I know that one.
He tinkers with machines quite frequently.
I'm not giving up on this, Mr. Man. I'll remember this. And she's
Very
gonna scoot down the table.
He says that Otto's walking in, just explaining the different types of upgrades he's wanting to give to Happy and things like that. Then what if I just made it to where you can also have a sword, but the grappling hook is attached to the sword, so you can kind of swing it around like I think there's a weapon that's actually a weapon thing at some point.
I've heard of a
What?
scythe attached to a sword. Or not attached to a sword, attached to a chain, but that is a rather rare weapon.
Technically, it is a sickle, not a scythe.
Right, of course. Sickles are just tiny scythes.
Well, I was thinking if I give him something to help him better grapple onto things, like with the grappling hook, it could actually be pretty useful. Like, imagine if he could, like, launch the grappling hook, but also could do it in such a way to where it can stab into a person, rather than just grappling them.
Oh, that's what you were looking for. I thought you were planning on trying to find ways to better attach yourself to a wall for climbing, in which case I would have suggested an adhesive of some kind.
I would have recommended figuring out a way for him to launch pythons.
That could also
sounds
be
heavy.
a good idea. Maybe I can make it adjust the grappling hook to where I can have it have like different types of ammunition for those things. I could probably talk to Maverick at some point to see if we can make any adjustments to it.
Eventually, Thorgrim wanders in and sort of just walks in and just says, "Bacon!" And then eventually a big plate of bacon shows up. And he just goes, "Yay, bacon!" No.
Is there a quiet place I can see within sight?
Your room probably is quiet.
I'm gonna sneak off to my room.
Okay. Who's next on the waking up agenda?
I guess it'll awaken him. Like,
Oops.
oh, what's that?
Don't worry about it.
That was weird. Alright. I'll get up herself and we'll head along out to see how everyone's doing.
Alright.
Oh, hello, Hubert.
Hello, my lady.
Where is everyone?
Elvy's right there, he says, pointing to Elvy. Otto's right there, he says, pointing to Otto. George and Beastie are outside, and Averial went to her room, I believe.
I see.
And meanwhile, Thorgrim's like, I'm here too.
Oh yes, and that one's there too.
Yeah, Elvie has a cup of tea in her hand, and she just sort of raises it in greeting to Adelsarde. Good morning.
Good morning.
Are you well this morning?
I am.
Good. Elvie sort of just leans back in her chair, and she looks up at the ceiling and just goes,
What was that sigh about?
oh, just thinking.
On.
Many things.
Such
I
as...
already expounded to Hubert about my empathy towards the Last Light and his unfortunate circumstances. But admittedly, other things have also plagued my mind as of late.
Such as...
I know you probably don't harbor the same feelings, but homesickness is rearing its ugly head.
For Zardak's home? Area?
No. My home.
I see.
I haven't been there in centuries.
Well, hopefully you'll be able to get to go back.
I was banished without them directly telling me I was banished, so I don't find that likely.
That doesn't sound like you were banished then.
Well, they didn't outright say it, but they made every indication that they did not want me around, so...
That's not banishment, that's just saying that they didn't like you. That's no reason not to go back.
When you're in a colony of elves that find emotion to be secondary among a great many things, if they straight up tell you that you're not wanted, then there is something truly horribly wrong. Usually the things that they say are less direct.
So then you're not banished because you didn't do something that wrong.
I suppose, but I wonder what they think of me now.
Well, there's only one way to find out, if you're truly curious.
really want to add that to the list of things to do?
I see no reason why not.
We have a
visit
great
should be
many
fun.
things we've already been entangled with. Things that are far more relevant than a family reunion.
Alright then. I will make this in a way so as to not make you feel so guilty, Gloomhollow. I fear that your homesickness, along with your other emotions, combined with the fact that you're significantly younger and your hormones are most likely aggravating these emotions, that will stop you from being as efficient and as effective as you usually are. The best action to take will be to ease that by visiting home. Is that a good enough excuse?
And how do you know that returning home would not exacerbate the hormonal issues that I am apparently facing?
Closure.
Could also breed anxiety.
And getting
That may
closure
make-
is not always easy.
Yes. And all I am saying is anxiety may breed more ineffectiveness in combat.
Like George?
Is George within earshot of this conversation?
No, you're outside. You don't get to.
Okay.
You don't get to be a part of this. You
Yes.
made
Same,
your
because
choice
that's
to.
why I wasn't sure. Yeah.
Yes, let us talk behind your back. Come on.
I mean, ever since he ended up dealing with his own issues and reached closure despite having to go through great anxieties to do so, it's not as if he became a significantly more effective fighter, more confident in his decisions, was not distracted by his angst, so to speak. And she just gives Gloomhollow a sidelong look.
However, you may not. Hang on. Sorry. Hang on. Sorry. Body was rebelling as I was speaking. That involved avenging a murder. That didn't involve family issues. I mean, not in the same sense as, like, you know, being ridiculed for being too emotional.
I didn't take you to be someone that ran from your problems, Gloomhollow.
Then you obviously haven't known me for that long, or haven't been listening to anything that I've been saying.
Oh, no. I have been listening to what you were saying. You did run away from your problems when you became so emotional that you never wanted to be emotional again, and you ended up leading into your logic. And then you realized that that was a terrible idea, which is why you slowly become more emotional again.
Yes.
So again, I didn't
So
think...
running away from my problems has been quite the common theme, has it not?
No. Running away from your problems has been proven to not work, which is why I'm wondering why you're still doing it. You yourself acknowledge this. And so I didn't
Because
take
I've
you
been
to
doing
be
it for
one.
400 years, and old habits die hard. Acknowledging a problem does not fix it. It only makes you cognizant of the problem.
And
You
fix
know-
the problem.
Ricardo then walks up. You know, my father always told me a saying. The best time to plant a tree was 10 years ago. The second best time to plant a tree is right now.
Only 10 years.
It's a saying.
I believe that's not the point. The point is better late
Oh.
than never.
So, you can continue making excuses as to why you can't do something, or you can put your nose to the grindstone and actually do it.
That's true. Run my fingers along my. I'm gonna start playing with the hourglass.
Oh my
How do
god,
you-
woman.
How do you play with it?
I'm running my fingers along the top and bottom of it.
Okay.
Okay. As long as you're
Slowly,
not
though.
shaking it.
As if I'm investigating.
Elvie's brow creases and it looks like she's gaining back the wrinkles she had when she was older, but it's just her an intense thought. And after a moment she just sighs and says, I need to learn a new spell then.
Marvelous.
Well, is that spell? It is a 7th level. Okay. So, yeah. Elvie is going to pull out her book and is going to just sort of think for a moment. Just go, Do you think... Oh, of course he would. It's devilish. Bing! After all. One moment. Do I have...
Don't do it in here, Gloomhollow.
No, I'm just checking to see if I have one for future reference. I do not. Darn.
Ed will take out a card and slide it towards him.
Oh, thank you. I shall do this upon my earliest convenience when we're not already inside a pocket dimension.
Alright.
I know what happens when you open a pocket dimension inside a pocket dimension. That becomes rather unpleasant. For now, I shall sip some tea.
Oh. He'll start eating her own breakfast now.
And then eventually there's this loud thunderous "Bruh!" and all the bacon is gone from Thorgrim's plate, and he just goes, yummy.
Do I feel anything on my hourglass?
Sure.
Sorry, I had to step away. What?
Oh, do I feel anything on my hourglass or no?
You just feel the usual energies that are running through it, but you're not messing with it enough to actually cause it to be chaotic.
Okay, now I'm gonna drag my fingers on the bottom and top.
Oh, she's messing with it. She's towing the line, trying to see how far she can mess with it without breaking.
Well, I'm
something.
trying to find any hidden contraptions.
Oh dear God.
I'm being very slow and careful.
Roll an investigation then.
Okay. Allow me 1 second, please.
1, time's up.
Hmm.
Roll
Okay, allow me
initiative.
1 minute, because I'm stupid.
You're fighting the hourglass now.
Yeah, the hourglass attacks you.
I rolled a 29.
As you are investigating, you eventually run your thumb over something that feels like a latch on the bottom of the hourglass.
Can I deduce if it's just gonna let out the sand? Or like the gold flakes or whatever? It's probably sand, but...
How do you attempt to deduce this?
I'm gonna look at the glass portion, like if the hourglass is in front of me, I'm looking I'm tipping the sand up to see if the latch is like, you know what I mean? Like you would see like the outline of where the latch is, like a square maybe, or like a rectangle or a circle. Any signs that there's a compartment that opens to let the sand out?
Roll an intelligence check.
I don't think I'm intelligent. Oh, I am very intelligent.
You're a wizard, I would hope you are. You look it over, and you're not actually sure what this latch is going to do.
So I don't see like any outline?
No, unfortunately, no.
How does the latch look, I guess?
It looks as if you would take your thumb and push down on it, but you can push it both directions depending on what way the hourglass is facing.
Okay, hourglass. I'm gonna try the button. Or the thing. I'm gonna gently push.
Alright. So, you push down on the button, and as you do, you see as Thorgrim stands up, he knocks a cup from the table, and it falls, and right before it hits the ground, it stops and then rewinds back to the point right before Thorgrim knocked it off the table, after you press the button.
What the?
Oh my god.
Did we all see that?
Roll a perception check.
Oh boy.
Does that include everyone or just?
Everyone except Averial.
Real.
That's
Even
Otto.
Beastie? Jeez.
Beastie? Okay, no. The people who aren't present obviously don't get the
Yeah,
roll.
that's what I meant. It's like, did it affect the entire world?
Well, I mean,
I need-
butterfly effects. You know.
I'll just use obsidian. I don't have pen and paper.
I imagine what Supreme is thinking. Like, he does something and time is reversed. It's like, the fuck?
In the sheet, Luna, if you're wanting to like write down notes, you could just go to you go to like your bio, and there should be a bunch of different stuff that you can put on there. Like if you scroll down to like treasure, you can write down like notes on there or anything like that.
Yes. Adel, Sarday, and Otto seemed to notice it, but neither of Matt's characters did.
Damn.
Ada will just narrow her eyes as she looks to the cup and then very slowly gives Averial a death glare.
That was kind of
She
cool.
doesn't notice because she's so focused.
Um,
So can I pull the latch out?
No, it only goes down. But
Okay.
it appears that when you push that button down, you can undo one action that has occurred.
Oh.
Oh dear God.
Okay.
Mother of mercy.
I'm gonna write that down in character. The best. I think maybe.
Now, the person you are trying to undo the action of will get a wisdom save. DC equals your spell casting save.
So she just got a free rewind button.
Like a little rewind. So that's like an action or like as like a reaction?
It's a reaction.
Okay. It's actually kind of insane. What the fuck?
That's kind
Okay.
of incredible.
All right, and that was on the bottom of the hourglass.
Yes, that's happening. That's it's on the bottom, and it's if you push the latch down.
Is there anything else on the bottom while I'm here?
You only found the latch so far.
Okay. I'm gonna gently turn it over
Right there on
to
my
reveal the top, and the top is like an iPod where it has like a backwards, a forwards, and a play button.
Good job, Otto.
Is there anything else on the top other than like the iPod buttons?
Unfortunately, you have gone through your investigating of your magical item, at least for the morning.
Okay.
Because if I allowed you to investigate it constantly, we would be here all day.
Oh, it's that in depth. Okay. Oh boy.
I'll reach over and just gently rest a fire staff on her shoulder.
She's not gonna notice. She's gonna jot her notes down with a little heart, the date.
Otto will simply
But the
tap.
date is gonna be 20 years back, if they date by years. Cause she never got the time from anyone in this like timeline. She's gonna smack her book closed, throw it in her like robe, and then sling the hourglass gently back into her bag.
I was going to tap Adel on the back.
Yes, Otto.
Then he will point towards his workshop,
She'll look over at the workshop.
and he will start walking towards it.
She will sigh, pull her staff away, and will follow.
Is this an invitation for Adel only?
He's assuming that it was only because Adel also reacted to what happened.
Ah,
Also, he
Very
was
fair.
following regardless.
To get in the workshop, I was going to close the door and say, I'm assuming you saw the same thing that I saw?
She reversed time.
Yeah, but there's something different about it.
Different how?
It was one particular thing. Not everything.
Ah, you're right.
So, I don't want to assume, but maybe she's trying to figure out the item like we asked her to?
I'm sorry, who asked her to figure out the
Well,
item?
we kind of told her to be careful with it, and I assume that's what she's doing. Because if it didn't, make us go back 200 years in age, then I'm assuming she might be starting to get some control over it, or figuring it out.
I appreciate your optimism, Otto.
Personally, I prefer this over her shaking it.
That's what I was saying as well.
So you're saying I should just leave her be?
I think.
Personally, I think that unless something catastrophic occurs, we should not cease her activities. It is better for her to slowly figure it out, rather than us have no inkling as to what we're dealing with. It's very clear. It's very clear, regardless of what we want, it's going to be something she's going to mess with.
All right. Very well. We will leave her be. But if her messing around with that item causes other such negative or catastrophic events like you said, Hubert, I'm going to trust you to take care of it.
Of course.
Thank you.
Do I hear any of this?
No, they went to a separate room.
Okay.
Just don't kill her.
Of course.
Oh, not. Alright. Well, let's go. I'll step on out.
I don't nod and didn't follow behind. And he'll eventually look around and ask where's Beastie and George?
They went outside to deal with the paladin.
I suppose we should as well. Unless everyone hasn't finished eating breakfast.
Oh,
I am content.
I was gonna ask if anyone has a spell book of sorts, like a different one, like an extra.
Otto?
Like a blank one or one that has spells in it?
Like a blank one that's better than this, and she's gonna show like a... I guess because she's been traveling time, would hers be like old and tattered? Sure, yeah, we'll say that's old and tattered.
Otto will walk over to you and will ask for the spell book.
Here?
He will then attempt to start casting Mending on it.
Mending fixes physical wounds, not time-aged wounds.
Okay.
Mending
Did you want to see it? It used to be pink, now it's brown.
That's fine. He'll then go into his bag and pull out
If not, it's okay. And also an extra notepad. I have a lot of schematics I've been drawing of this thing.
Oh, I
She's
have
gonna realize
extra
the hourglass
notepads.
is on the table because she put it in her bag. Of the hourglass in my notebook.
Oh, I have extra notepads, so here you go.
I might need another, thank you.
And then he'll continue to look to see if he can find another spell book.
Do you have another spell book?
I don't think he does, unless he gives her like his original one that he had.
Do you do that?
No, he will. He'll give her his original spell book.
You are given a newish spell book.
Why does it say your name on here?
Oh, this is one I was using when I was starting to learn more.
Wait, I can't
more
take
magic.
this, and she's gonna push it back.
What do you mean?
You should cherish this. If you like spells. Your first spellbook is very important. Like, I wouldn't get rid of this one, I would keep it, but it is falling apart.
Do you... Okay, then I could try just replacing the paper in it, maybe, if you want to keep it.
No, it's fine. I figured eventually I would just put it in like one of those trophy cases and leave it there.
Okay. Let me try to see if I can...
Or I get like a house and I have one of those like doors that only work with this certain book. That way I always remember.
Okay, I mean, I can try to see if I can, Actually, you will just take out another notepad and say, Elvie,
Yes.
you're more in tune with wizard magic than I am. Do spellbooks need anything specific for it, or can't you just write down spells in a book?
Jor, how do the specifics work in your world?
Since you have to purchase a spell book that is actually a spell book, spell books are technically special.
Okay.
In what way?
I cannot express that because personally I don't really know. But since there is a key distinction between purchasing a book and purchasing a spell book, there is a distinction in some way. That is all I know.
Then I'm going to make it up, if you don't mind.
Sure, go ahead.
The distinction is in the paper that is used in the book. It is a very specific process that creates the pages of a spellbook. The backing and the encasing cover is just any old cover, but the pages itself are what hold the knowledge within and function as a proper spellbook.
Huh. What about if a page is ripped out of a spellbook, does it lose the magic properties then?
Not especially. It just needs to be in good enough condition to still be able to read.
I have an idea then. Otto's going to take his spellbook and is going to flip to a blank page and is going to tear it off.
Okay.
He's then going to put the torn off page into his pack and then will attempt to cast Mending on his spellbook.
The page will be pulled from your pack and will mend into the spellbook.
Okay.
That's what I was expecting, that kind of answer.
Yeah, that's what I was expecting as well. I was thinking you might as well just theorize it.
That's interesting.
That's pretty
I've
funny.
never actually tried that.
Yeah, I figured I'd try something. You know what kind of paper it's needed?
Say again? Sorry,
You know what
I
kind
blacked
of-
out briefly.
You know what kind of paper is needed? Because if anything, I'm not sure if I'd be able to, but I can try to make one. I don't know if it's possible.
The paper itself is not the issue, it's the preparation methods to make it suitable for spellcasting?
I have a spellbook she could use, Romero says, holding up a finger.
Ah, excellent.
He will rummage through his pack and pulls out a spellbook.
Thank you, Mr. Katzman.
You're welcome.
What does it look like?
It has strange engravings along the front. It is a mint green colored book,
Ooh.
and the engravings appear to be in a way to symbol cat claws.
Ooh. I like this.
All right. So that's a lot of indoor time going on. What's happening outdoors?
He's looking around for the last light.
I mean, he is currently leaned up against a tree, his shield and his weapon laying next to him as he reads from a book.
Hey, Candleman.
He will hold up a finger and continues reading before eventually looking up at you and says, "Yes, Beastie.
What you reading?
I'm reading the holy book that was bequeathed to me by my god.
What'd it say?
It tells the story of his existence.
What's God's name?
Loomis.
What they got of? Candles?
Light. He is the god of light.
Me no hear of Loomis before.
Without him, we would not have fire, or the sun, or anything, to be honest with you. With his light bequeaths life to us all.
Even ones that go under the ground?
Yes.
Even ones that live inside caves and don't go out?
The creatures that live in the caves, even they have light sources, whether it be from vegetation within the caves, or the fires that get produced down there, or any other number of things. Light is something that is important to all living things. Except for the creatures of the dark.
Casey nods. Yeah, because moles don't need light since they blind.
Not entirely true.
Huh?
Without the light, the moles would not be able to feast on worms, for the worms would not be able to flourish within the life that they need. The light brings life to the grass brings life to the creatures that eat it, and when those creatures inevitably perish, the worms are what consume them. Without the light, that cycle would not exist, and could not be.
You speak the true Candleman.
I speak only what is within my holy word.
That's not a word, that's a book.
Word also can mean book in a way, Beastie.
Ah,
Just George is stepping out.
a book's
Word
have
can
many
also
words.
mean. It's like a synonym.
A what?
It's a word that also means the same as the other word.
Ah. Common language is dumb.
Truer words have never been spoken. Jesus.
But me, worship a god of all strength. Me not sure what God's name actually is. Me not even sure if they have a name. Me worship them.
I'm sure they did at one point, but unfortunately, a lot of the pantheon have become aspects of their former selves.
Why is that unfortunate?
Hmm. I am uncertain if it is possible for them to regain their former glory, or if they're only capable of being replaced by someone anew.
So why is that unfortunate?
Because I am uncertain if they die or if they continue to exist in a state of purgatory. It is simply, I don't know what happens to those gods. And I suppose I never will truly understand what occurs to them.
Beastie shrugs. No one knows what happened when they die, aside from that they die.
No, that's not true. For
Hmm?
example, when I die, I go to the afterlife, where I will be with my god Loomis.
But your god is aspect, yes?
No,
I
my
thought you
god.
said God was not in full glory or something.
I said most gods aren't. My god still fully exists.
Hmm. Well, that is thing. You don't actually know. You just believe it because faith. That is what me mean. People don't know 100%, but they believe. You can believe what you want about gods that do end up doing the aspect thingy, but people don't know. Only can accept.
You have a very strange aspect of life.
Me no have strange aspect of life. Me have goblin aspect of life.
Goblin aspects are strange to me, he says as he looks back down to his book.
Of course it is. You're not goblin. And she just, gives him a friendly punch to the leg.
Lang. Because he is still wearing his plate mail.
Oh yeah, BC knows.
We're just kind of just taking in the sights and looking around the forest.
You look around, you see dry trees, you don't see any animal life whatsoever. It's fairly barren, all things considered.
I kind of just look around at everything and then just go back to just looking at Beastie and the Paladin.
Hey, Candleman, can you fight?
Only if I have to.
Let's fight.
You don't have to fight.
He just
Shush,
looks
George.
to you. He just looks to you and very calmly stands up and says, "Very well."
Yeah!
Wait, what?
Please don't put down Duck and Devilhead over here.
Is that the Hots Paladin?
Yes, they're apparently going to fight.
I didn't say that out loud.
Yes, George, I was thinking.
I guess we're now.
Alrighty.
I'll head out and we'll see the two squaring up and we'll rub her face. Of course.
To be fair, BC did just ask and the Paladin did just agree.
Wait, really?
Yeah, that's why I didn't try to stop it.
Huh. Alright. Beastie will pull out Scraw and will activate her tattoos while embiggening the sword. And make a come here motion.
He will put his helmet on, and he'll slide it over his head, and he will take a stance, but he does not advance on you.
So,
Might I make a quick suggestion, Beastie?
Huh?
Do you think it'd be smarter to fight before we rest, so you don't end up using all of your I don't know, capabilities before we actually start traveling?
That's fine.
Okay.
She'll then focus back on the Candleman, quote unquote. Should I roll initiative?
No.
Alright. Beastie will recklessly swing non-lethally at him.
Alright. As you swing, even though you're fairly certain you miss, all of you hear the impact of Scraw against him as he falls backwards onto his back and lays on the ground.
Beastie will pull Scraw back and will get closer and will raise her sword up, but will then pause while looking down at him.
He doesn't move for a couple of seconds and eventually says, "It appears you have bested me."
Beastie will stare down at him for a bit, and then will deactivate her tattoos, sheath her sword, go over and just pick up Duck. Just silently go and take a seat on the wood while folding her arms. For the first time in a long while, Beastie looks legitimately angry. Like, she's pissed off at that.
Yeah. He isn't moving still, by the way.
Yeah, I figured. I'll go and help him up.
Yeah, George will also go and help him up.
There's a bit of a struggle as he sighs and says, "It appears that I've been locked away longer than I thought." And
I'm gonna run and try to help, and I'm gonna fall.
And he rolls his shoulders, rolls his neck a bit, frowns, and then will walk over, help her up, and says, "It appears that I have atrophied in my time in Solace."
Oh, I know lots about time, like a lot. Like I have all the time in the world. I could tell you about it if you want.
George pulling an insight into that.
Sure. George, you're convinced he's not bluffing. But based on, he thought he could handle it based on what you can tell, and whenever he was hit, it caused him to falter. Like, he wasn't pretending.
Huh.
And you can tell by his body language, he's very disappointed in himself.
I'm sure it'll start to come back to you.
I think in the next... Well, most likely we're going to run into something. You should probably take a more backseat role as we go forward.
We will have to see, he says, and sighs.
I'll give him a supportive pat on the back.
Hubert, meanwhile, will walk over to Beastie and look down at her.
She looks up at him.
Any particular reason you're picking on a weakened enemy?
They did not know he was weak.
He's been sealed away in a room for who knows how long.
So?
If anything, he has probably not had the exercise he's needed to be able to be up to his full strength.
They don't realize.
He seems rather disappointed he was not able to give you the fight you wanted.
Me know.
So what is wrong with you?
She sighs. If me was in that position, well, other way around, me would be angry too.
How do you mean?
If me wanted to fight someone and me tried my best but couldn't, because me was weak, me would be angry at self for being so weak. Me angry at self for not realizing.
He doesn't seem angry, he just seems disappointed.
Me, I'm angry at myself.
Why is that?
Me didn't realize. Me picked on
That's-
someone weak.
That's fine.
Mm.
You know now. If anything, you could probably help him get back to full strength.
Me will.
So why don't you cease your pouting then?
Me not pouting. Me just angry.
Yes, pouting, he says and turns to go.
Well, Beastie won't stop him. Okay, sighs Adel. Hubert, can you get the others? I think we should probably get going now.
He motions to everyone else who's coming out of the door.
What's that?
Jay, I swear to God.
That was me.
What the fuck did I do?
That was me.
What the hell?
You're
I
the
think
one
a few
who's...
people here that uses push to talk. What do you mean?
Yeah, but the thing is, I know you've been answering your phone a lot today.
I was.
That's true.
My phone had a text message notification that stopped mid-notification, and I was confused. Alright.
During our travels, I must request that we stop at midday.
Is it for you to rest, or...?
It is for me to practice a ritual. I will need ample time to make sure it is set up prior to noon.
What ritual would that be?
It is a ritual that, with any luck, should Loomis decree it, will put me back at my former strength.
Alright. We will do so.
He sighs and will turn and begin leading the way.
It'll follow.
Is everyone else gonna follow?
Yes.
Assuming
Yeah.
we're setting out, yeah.
Beastie will. Still looking pretty annoyed. Oh boy.
Okay.
We are,
Continuing.
we are going to need to figure out a faster mode of travel.
Well, if we knew where certain locations were on this map, travel would be quite easy.
Did you move your square?
Yes.
Square.
Alright. I need to roll some dice. Okay. Now. Un momento, por favor.
Uno.
Dos.
You don't know how long a memento is, though.
It's a moment in Spanish.
No, a memento is an item that is a memory.
Nah, no, it's a memento.
Let's see.
George is gonna think to himself for a second, and never mind, that will not work.
What is it, George?
I was thinking of a spell that I could use to maybe help us travel, but I don't think the time that it lasts would get us much further.
Alas. It has been a while since we've had to hoof it.
Where is this last you speak?
Ireland.
So, as you're all moving along, it gets close to 11, at which point the last light says, I must bequeath that we stop here. Or I must request that we start here. I don't know why I said bequeath.
I mean, they both have Q, U, and E in it. Wait, bequeath? Yeah, bequeath does have a U and E. Oh, hell no, then we'll stop.
I do apologize for forcing us to stop so soon.
It's fine.
If you'll excuse me. He will then head towards the center of the clearing, where he will begin removing his armor. As he does, you all do notice that he is very atrophied. He doesn't appear to have much muscle to him as he sets his armor aside. In fact, it's some marvel he was managing to move around with the armor on at all.
Hey, Candleman.
Hello, beastie.
Sorry.
For what?
Me no realize. Me thought you were strong. They typically do better.
To be fair, I thought I was strong as well. But it appears that I have lost my former luster, so to speak.
Me will help.
No need. You may want, but unfortunately the ritual is something that only those following my religion are privy to and may assist me in crafting.
She stares at you for a moment. What kind of workout they have you doing?
Not a workout, it is a ritual. He says, as he goes and begins drawing lines in the dirt.
He'll just keep watching.
As he draws, the ritual circle appears to be, based from what you can tell, a full sun shining through clouds that takes him quite a while to manage to get fully crafted. Oh, this will technically count as downtime, so what are you all doing?
There's more downtime.
Yes, because it's going to take several minutes for the last light to finish his ritual circle.
Otto will ask Hubert to give Hoppy another lesson with the sword and the whip.
Have Hoppy roll an intelligence check.
Is this area secluded over here?
It's secluded-ish, yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna brave through the trees.
Hubert ain't teaching for shit today.
Oh my god. I use elect point on other people, right?
Yes.
Yeah, if I gotta use elect point for Hubert. Okay.
Well, congratulations. He's not dismantling Hoppy anymore. But Hubert's not really teaching very well.
Wow, Hubert. Having an
It
off
appears-
day?
It appears that my last training session with the beastie has managed to make me distracted.
Told you liked her.
Perhaps it's your comments that are making me distracted.
Oh no. My retainer, distracted by mere words. Who would have thought? Perished the thought, in fact.
Whenever the person I am the retainer to is insulting me.
Me?
Oh god,
Insult
Duck.
you? Why Oh god, Duck!
Oh god.
Oh,
Spurt.
god, he did it again.
Jesus! He's
There we go.
Poke evolved!
Honk.
Mega Gigantamax duck.
So, what are you doing in your seclusion over there?
Oh, I'm gonna pull out the hourglass.
Oh god.
Oh boy, here we go.
I'm gonna pull it out, and this time I'm gonna test like tilting angles.
The sand shifts a little bit within, but there doesn't seem to be any negative or positive consequences to you shifting the hourglass so subtly.
Okay. So is all the sand at the bottom of the hourglass right now, or where is the sand?
The hourglass does not seem capable of running out of sand in either the top nor the bottom. It always appears to be flowing.
Mr. Hourglass, we're gonna do this together. Or Mrs. Hourglass. Or them Hourglass. And she's gonna turn it like in one swift motion upside down. So like the bottom latch thing is now topwards.
Okay, roll a d100.
It's like a deck of many things, but an hourglass. Kind of cool.
A glass of many sands.
Glass of many sands.
Alright, you have turned the hourglass upside down. You are not sure of the effects that have occurred.
I'm gonna look around. But before I do, I'm gonna put it back in my bag.
Okay.
Wait, did I notice anything with the sands when I flipped it?
You notice that even though you flipped it upside down, the sands will always continue to flow towards what it considers to be the bottom.
Okay. So nothing changed that I would have noticed.
Nothing in the hourglass. No.
Did any of the buttons, did anything like contraptions click or anything? Did I hear anything click? Just the swift motion, that was it?
You know something happened, but you don't know
Okay.
what.
Kind of like a Scooby-Doo, like when they're peering around a corner. I'm gonna peer around the trees to see if the ritual and stuff, if it's still in full motion with like BC pacing or whatever BC's doing.
You do see the last light continuing to craft his ritual circle. You see the trees swaying in the wind. You see the rest of the group mingling together, and you still aren't entirely sure what's going on. But you know something has occurred.
That's strange. Pip? She's gonna ask Pip.
Pip will poke his head out of the bag and look at you.
Okay, that's good. I don't like this. Did I notice any like time like rifts or anywhere? I'm gonna look around.
Roll an investigation.
Okay. And this is the time I rolled a nat one. It's the time I roll a 25.
So, as you are looking about, you notice that it is actually the spell book that was given to you that appears to be having the temporal effect upon it.
Okay, I'm gonna take out the notebook. Or the spell book.
Yeah, you look at the spell book Romero gave to you, and you can see, as you look it over, you notice that the pages appear to be flipping forward and then backwards and then forwards and then backwards.
Did I stick it into a time loop?
You're not sure. You're also not sure what sort of effects are going to occur if you try casting spells today. because I presume that is your spell book for the day.
Yeah, she's gonna make sure Pip doesn't hold on to this one then.
All right.
If anything bad happens, it's to her. Okay. She's gonna come back out of the woods.
Bombastic side eye.
Sorry,
imagining
I'm
that
getting bad
one-
vibes here. She's gonna slowly walk away with like a sad face and like drag her feet a little bit.
What is it, Aurelia?
No, it's nothing. I'm sorry, Mrs. Ma'am.
My name is...
Adel Sorbet, I'm sorry.
Don't worry about it.
I didn't mean to intrude.
You're not intruding.
She's gonna like slowly turn around. What did you think of the Mr. Shiny Man with the candles?
What do I think about him?
I think he's handsome.
I can't really comment on his physical appearance.
Do you think if I give him pretty leaves, he'll like me more?
Maybe?
Okay, maybe I'll try it one day when I have the confidence.
It'll probably be a good idea to do it sooner rather than later.
I could give him a lucky leaf. Maybe it'll turn his frown upside down.
Maybe. I'm sure he would appreciate the sentiment.
Okay, I'm gonna go peer around the trees very awkwardly next to the people over there.
Where are you peering towards?
Next to Otto.
Yeah, but
I'm gonna like silently walk up and try to peer towards the candle man.
Just peering,
as-
just peering.
As you do, you see him now standing within the center of the ritual circle, staring up into the sky as it's getting closer to midday.
Okay. Hello, Otto!
Hello.
Did I startle Otto?
Startled?
No, Otto wasn't looking at anything. He was kind of just looking like around this direction to not like intrude on the paladin. But as soon as he hears, did Aurelia sneak up behind him, or did she just walk over?
I snuck up.
Oh, I'm gonna just do a roll in to see if he heard you.
You have to roll stealth if you are actively attempting to stealth.
Okay, let's me roll stealth.
You did not
I'm
notice.
very stealthy.
You did not
Oh.
notice her approach, Otto.
In that case, you see a paw start swinging towards you.
A paw?
Yeah, like Otto's
Okay.
like paw.
Do I see
Smack
it
ya.
in time or do I?
I'm just gonna roll this to see if he hits. He doesn't hit, so you just get a paw to the face. It doesn't do anything.
Boop.
Squeaky toy noise.
Your hands are very soft.
Thanks. I washed them.
What do you
Nice.
use?
Soap.
You don't use like
What is soap?
special conditioners?
Fuck
No,
is conditioner?
I-
Think shampoo
We
and
have
conditioner exist
bathhouses
in
in the
D&D?
fairylands.
mean,
They're
yeah, we
very
have
good.
we have bathhouses here too, but my skin is my fur is usually naturally soft. So
Oh, that's really good for you.
yeah, I think one of Adel's sisters wanted to keep me as a pet because of it, or something like that.
I was documenting what my hourglass could do, by the way.
And around this time, all of you begin to notice the area is beginning to get brighter, specifically from where the last light is standing.
Oh boy. Yeah, Idol's going to go to the other side of Hubert's because of that, being a drow and all.
My half drow retainer, block the light for me.
Be my umbrella now.
Also, I don't think this is normal. She's gonna show the book.
Oh, good. Some other shit's going down. Hey, Otto, look at this shit that's going down. Otto, as you look at the book, the last light will begin floating in the air a bit as a pillar of light, seemingly directly from the sun, falls down upon him as he floats a bit in the air. He shines for a while, and Beastie, you notice that his body is rapidly getting rejuvenated. He seems to be back in a physical prime for himself as he...
Did he get hotter?
I mean, he's getting more musculature, so... I guess
Oh, no,
good
he's
enough.
hotter.
Spell book.
She's gonna drop the book.
And as he continues to float, you also notice that flaming wings appear to sprout from his shoulder blades, spreading out as he looks like the visage of a phoenix very briefly before he's lowered back down to the ground and he sighs contently.
I want to learn that spell.
I think that's something that's just you can do as a paladin.
I have so much time. Don't worry, I could learn it.
You're gonna become a paladin.
No.
Also, an Otto will pick up the spell book and continue looking at the pages flipping. What did you do to this?
Oh right, so I forgot to. Wow, he is just okay. So I took the hourglass and I turned it in one swift motion.
So
I did it in a secluded area though, so no one else gets hurt. I've been mainly worried about that.
That's good. At least you're taking steps to figure out everything that it can do.
Yes, which means I
hopefully.
need to leave Pip with you when I go do that.
Oh, okay. He's looking at the pages still flipping and everything, and is gonna just
Some of those pages have smiley faces and hearts on them. Don't judge them.
I don't judge, but I'm gonna try something. And I don't know if this is how this is gonna work, but he will hand his spellbook over to Aurelia, and then we'll walk off with the spellbook, and we'll attempt to cast a. Actually, no, he's not going to do anything. He's going to think about it for a second. Think about the consequences of his actions that could happen here. Is going to walk back and hand Aurelia her spellbook.
That's a
back.
good idea. And then she's gonna hand the spellbook to you, your spellbook, and then she's gonna say Pip, and she's gonna hand Pip to Otto and run back into the forest real quick. I don't hit any trees, right?
I presume you have the wherewithal to be able to avoid trees.
I just realized
Okay.
I didn't give you cantrips. Hold on.
Oh, I'll shoot off a fucking. Give me. What's the frost one I really like?
Ray of Frost.
Yeah, I like that one. I'm gonna use Ray of Frost in the air.
I need you to roll a Constitution saving throw.
Oh no.
Oh, my weakest one. Not my weakest one.
You fire the Ray of Frost into the air with very little issue.
Did I notice anything weird?
It seems to have flown straight where you were aiming. It traveled for a while and stopped after a few feet, as do most spells.
Is this a wall right here?
Yes, that is a rock wall.
I'm gonna shoot another ray of frost at it.
Click on
As she's doing this, Otto's going to just simply be following behind and just watching in the trees. Keeping Pip at like a safe distance.
What's your spell save DC, Aurelia?
My spell save DC is where do I see that?
Spells and spell tab on the top.
Oh, my spell tab. Okay, it is 18.
All right. You fire the ray of frost, and about halfway towards the wall, it stops before rapidly speeding back towards you. Roll to hit against yourself.
Oh my god.
Can you
What
hit
does ray of
yourself?
frost? What does ray of frost damage?
Oh,
I see it. I see it.
What's your AC?
It is very big. I promise you. It's bigger than average.
Yeah.
It is 13.
All right. It looks like you hit yourself, so you need to roll damage against yourself.
Oh boy. Okay. Let's see. 1d8. Oh,
No,
okay, that's not.
It's 3d8 because you're because
Oh,
Yeah,
of
so
the
the base
level
note's
you are.
level up, so yeah.
So the ray of frost hits you in your fingertips from where you cast it from, causing ice to go over them very briefly from the stinging cold.
Do I fly back or anything?
No,
Okay.
it wasn't that strong of a spell.
Ow, lets me mark that.
But now from your experimentation, it appears that for the duration of the day, unless you figure out a way to make this stop, any spell you cast, you're going to have to make a save on, otherwise it may come back at you.
Boy. I'm gonna take out the hourglass, like holding my. Tell me where it hits. And I'm gonna turn the hourglass with one hand the other way.
Roll the D100.
Oh boy. I'm fighting this book today, man. This book is winning.
Hey, you're fighting yourself, and you're both winning and losing.
Yeah.
So,
The
good
book,
news.
the hourglass is winning, and the book is winning.
Good news. The book has stopped its time loop.
Okay. Did I notice anything else?
You have no idea what else has occurred.
Okay, can I investigate my surroundings?
Sure.
Does all notice anything change as he's looking at this?
Oh!
Never mind.
Let's go!
The sand in the hourglass is not flowing at the moment.
Oh no.
Am I still in motion?
Yes, everything appears to still be in motion.
Oh no.
Okay, I'm gonna look at my dials.
The dials are not moving.
Oh no.
Okay, what colors were the eye? I'm gonna press play, the play button.
Nothing happened.
Okay. I don't want to press pause. What about the latch? Is the latch any difference?
What do you do with the latch?
Is it like in or out? Is it like spinning or something?
The latch is in its neutral position.
Oh, and she's gonna think the latch is an action key. She's gonna press it again.
Nothing happens.
Oh. Okay. I'm gonna press the forward button.
Nothing happens.
Has the hourglass locked up on me? Oh no.
Possibly.
Feeling defeated, she's gonna flip it again one more time.
Nothing happens. From your experimentation, it appears you have frozen the hourglass at this point.
Ugh. She's gonna take her hat off and put it in her bag. She's gonna crisscross applesauce on the ground for a second.
Okay.
I was just going to eventually walk out and just be like, "Did you break something?"
You can't break things. I paused it. I froze it. Did I hit the hourglass with Ray of Frost?
No.
Hmm.
It appears that trying to shift it the other way has caused this new effect to occur.
Hmm.
I mean, if it's able to affect everything around it, wouldn't also be, and you in some way, wouldn't also be, suffice to say, can also affect itself?
It chose me for a reason. I'm gonna try and figure it out. Step back into the tree line. Preferably a very far distance away. Not because I don't like you, but I'm worried for your safety. And Pip's.
Okay. Otto will then step back into the tree line with Pip in hand.
She's gonna lay her rod next to her. Spellbook on the left leg, like crisscross, and then on the right leg, she's gonna have the hourglass. Pick up the hourglass. And she's gonna press the back button now.
Nothing happens.
Can she press 2 action buttons at the same time?
Sure.
She's gonna press back and forward at the same time.
I get to roll D100s now.
Oh no!
I'm gonna write this in my book. I pressed back and forward at the same time.
So as you press back and forward, you feel the hourglass beginning to shake violently as you notice that there's a stream of sand going up and a stream of sand going downward. It rattles and the inner glass begins to spin rapidly before, very briefly, the hourglass blinks out of your hand entirely before reappearing, seemingly going back to normal.
And its time is looping again? Like, it's going... The hourglass is, like, having sand flowing?
Yes.
Do I notice anything around me? Have I... Like, I'm gonna look at my hand. Am I okay?
You are fine.
Am I corporeal?
You are corporeal.
Okay. I'm gonna fall back into the glass with the hourglass on against my chest.
Okay.
And just look up at the sky.
Can I come out of the tree line now?
Yes, you can.
You then go, and you also set Pip on the top of her head.
Hello, Pip.
Pip will playfully bite your hair.
Thank you, Pip. And she's gonna jot down her findings when she gets a second.
All right.
I fixed it. I think. I know I fixed it, but I say I think because I don't have confidence because I don't know everything about it.
That's good.
I also learned that I could press 2 buttons at once.
Oh. You think it acts as like a reset button?
I think. The thing is, it blinked for a second, though. I could feel something magical there, but it wasn't there.
Huh. Well, I mean, now you know. But I think, what's his name is done with his ritual now, so we might be able to keep traveling.
Okay. She's never had on, so she's gonna tell Pip to, like, kind of hide in her robe, kind of. Like, on her shoulder, like a Pokemon.
Pip will snuggle in under your robes to lay on your shoulders.
She'll pick up her staff, her spellbook that is now normal. And does she still have, like, ice against her stomach?
No, that will have faded by now.
Okay. And then she's going to put the hourglass gently back into her bag.
All right. At this point, the last light will get hit. Will be putting on his armor, situating it the way he needs to.
Wait, do I see that?
Yes.
He took his armor off? You didn't tell me?
No, he took his armor off during the ritual.
Oh,
He's had it all.
Yeah, I described him as emaciated, and during the ritual,
I don't know what that word means. It's a big word.
as he was becoming back to his full prime, he was restored to a more prime look. So he is more muscular. He's more muscular. His hair has a more healthy sheen to it. He just looks. He went from being almost mummified in looking to looking like a very healthy, physically fit person.
You went from
Okay.
Victor to Jason Arcane.
Jace,
Now,
you say,
I don't know who that is, but sure.
It's the Ganondorf transformation from Tears of the Kingdom.
Went from Gilbert to Goldberg.
You can't spoil it. I haven't played it yet.
Been out for like 3 years.
3
I know,
years?
but I have ADHD, so I struggle picking a game and finishing it. I haven't finished Mass Effect yet.
Preach.
Mass Effect 1?
No, I finished Mass Effect 1 and 2, but I haven't finished the third one.
You're not missing out much.
Yeah.
You're really not.
Anyway, so he's putting his armor back on, and I need a perception check from Hubert, Adelsarte, LV, Thor, and Thorgrim, I guess.
I'm still drooling.
Goodly. Nice one, Adel.
Perception. Thorgrim
Oh, boy.
don't see shit. LVC anything.
I think Hubert needs to roll as well.
Let's go, Hubert. Oh,
Hubert does not see much. LV, as everything's going on, you hear soft footsteps. And as you look over towards them, you notice a creature attempting to be stealthy, seeming to be staring for the ritual that just occurred. The creature is over here.
what the heck
Present.
is that?
That appears to be a brain with legs.
Oh,
Oh,
it's
it's
us.
it or them.
And not only does this appear to be a brain with legs, but you see a band on its front left leg that gleams with a very familiar metal to you.
Oh, truly.
It looks like the metal of common of astral elves.
Oh, so like an astral metal of sorts, or astral steel, or
Yes.
sweet.
Oh, fuck.
What? Do I need to roll a check to determine what kind of creature this is? Because I think this is an intellect devourer, but I want to check.
Roll a history check. And you'll have advantage on this.
Since
Audible Flash of Genius.
double crapola.
Since I didn't say advantage at first, I was just gonna let you have another roll.
Okay, that's better.
And Flash of Genius makes it a 25. Not only are you familiar with this being an intellect devourer, you recognize this intellect devourer.
Does it belong to who I think it does?
It belongs. You're fairly certain that it is an intellect devourer that belonged to your family.
She will approach it at first slowly, but then quickly will jog over to it and will crouch down in front of it.
As you jog towards it, it seems to sense you and begins to scurry off.
Oh, please, do not be afraid. It is I.
What language are you saying this in?
I'm speaking in the Elven language.
It'll roll into animal handling with advantage.
Animal handling. 20.
It'll stop before looking at you. Looking at you as the brainstem that appears to be its tail will slowly begin simulating a wagging motion.
Yeah. It's alright. It's alright. I'm not gonna hurt you. It's okay.
It will eventually slowly approach you, and you feel the psionics touch your mind as if it is a creature that is purring.
Aww. She'll pick it up.
And you notice that in the Astral Elven language, the pendant has its name on it, which its name is Int, named after intelligence.
Of course. Little Int, how have you been? And she'll, do, the forehead-to-forehead touch.
It is very gooey as you press your forehead to it, and you feel some of your negative thoughts being drained away as it was developed to be essentially a form of free therapy, as it is able to consume traumas.
It's a therapy brain. Ah. Yeah, she'll gladly indulge in that until all of her bad thoughts have been consumed, and then we'll gently set it down and say, again in the Elven language, "What news of home? Do you have anything to report?" And she'll look at the band on its leg and will examine it. Is it just simply a name tag or like a collar?
It's a name tag, essentially. It would be akin to a collar, yes.
Okay. Does it have any notes attached to it or anything?
As you look at it in very very straightforward, to the letter, there appears to be the only thing that is written upon it is it says, hold on, I'll just type it out because I can't get my words out at the moment.
That's entirely valid.
That is a mood and a half, brother.
A mood and 3/4.
There we go.
Of course. Yes. Yes, you. Dear sibling. I miss you so.
But you know that if Int is here, whoever is presently being the guardian of Int is probably also somewhere. But given the nature of this land, you're not entirely sure where.
We'll come across them eventually. She'll pick Int up and give them a quick hug and some pets, and then set them back down again and say, "You should go find my sibling. They probably miss you."
Int will sit there for a bit as you're fairly certain Int was sent to spy on what was going on, given the gigantic pillar of light that occurred.
Gigantic what?
Pillar of light that occurred.
I may not have been here for that. Was that the result of the time stop?
That was the result of the last light's ritual.
Oh, okay.
It was the light
The flamey wings.
Yes.
Got it. Don't worry, my friend. There's nothing to see here. It's just my paladin ally who is conducting a ritual. He was not very well. He is He's currently in mourning and is not his full self as of yet. Though with his ritual, I imagine he's quite a few steps closer.
Mm, eventually, Int will continue to seem to survey the area. It looks almost as if they're getting a head count before it turns again and begins to scamper off, before swiping a claw, causing a small little opening portal of sorts that it hops through.
Adorable little thing.
There. But now George is going to think to himself for a second. He's going to, using his extra charge of this, is going to use his Azamar state to grow wings, and is going to fly up 30 feet and then 60 feet and see if he sees anything.
Roll a perception check.
Because that was a giant pillar of light that crashed down from the sky, so he definitely thinks there might be something on the way.
You don't see any creatures on the way. However, to the northwest, from best you can tell, it is going to be the next tile you travel to. There is what appears to be a river, but it seems to be tinted red.
Ew, that's not good.
Huh. George will take note of that, and we'll fly back down. I'm just going to go and... Hello, everyone. It appears that once we continue in our current direction, northwest, we're going to come across the river, but it is tinted red.
That is disconcerting.
Yep. I'll also inform Last Light about that as well, just in case he might know anything about that. Should also keep our, I guess, eyes open, considering that was a giant pillar of light that just crashed down from the sky.
That was because of the last light.
I know, but still, if we saw it, and it's a giant pillar of light coming from the sky, he kind of just puts his hands together, as a saying, put two and two together.
I see. Well, we'll just have to be careful.
Hold on. Then eventually start heading over to Last Light.
Beastie, meanwhile, has been looking up at last light, like, wow, you got big.
Yes, I feel much better, he says as he straightens his gauntlets a bit before lifting his warhammer, raising it, and as it does, it glows with radiant energy that he slams into the ground, causing a burst of energy to come off of it before he nods and says, much better.
Now we fight for real.
Yes, but perhaps this evening, in case we find something that requires us to fight. We are going to be getting close to dangerous territory, if I remember correctly. I would rather us be at our fullest potential. Then, with whatever energy we have spare for this evening, we can fight then, and I can ensure that my combat prowess is still up to snuff.
Speaking of danger, we are going to be coming across a river that's tinted red, if that means anything to you at all, Last Light.
That bodes unwell.
Why?
If the water is tinted red, that implies that it has been infected by the disease that is spreading through here.
Disease can infect water?
This disease can.
Oh.
It's the reason I informed you all not to consume anything around here. We don't know how don't know how far it has spread. We don't know what all it has infected. We don't know if the animals have drank from the water and then ran further. Nothing of this land can be trusted anymore.
Wait, it infects water. River going to ocean, no?
That is why I'm fearful of this.
Oh.
Hopefully, it has not gotten. Hopefully, it has not gotten to the point where it has traveled to the ocean. Whenever we first found out that it could infect the waters, we made the best we could of dams to prevent the water from spreading into the oceans. But I don't know if those dams still stand.
We need to do something about it.
I have every intention of doing something about it, but it will be more of a holy nova than anything else.
Me no get it, but you seem to know what you're talking about.
He then sighs as he appears to be going into thought.
After seeing Aurelia just be probably still drooling, just say, I think last night's done with his ritual. And he'll just go and we'll start pushing Aurelia forward.
No, I'm okay. I'm gonna stay here.
He's still going to continue to try pushing you.
Okay, well, I'm just gonna give him this leaf that's specially colored. It's good luck. If anything.
Okay.
But I think I'll do
Pushing
it
you
from
towards
back
him.
here. I'm gonna stay here.
How are you going to give him a flower from back here?
I am gonna sit here.
And before one of the paladin tenets is celibacy.
Celibacy doesn't prevent a relationship.
Really? I thought it did.
No,
Celibacy
it just prevents a certain dance, you know.
Celibacy prevents the horizontal happy dance from occurring, but it does not prevent relationships.
You can still do the smooging.
Marriage and sexual relations. But yeah, okay.
Okay, but at least just be ready to move when we start traveling. And he'll just...
No, I'll give it to him at some other plans.
I mean, just be ready to start traveling when we start moving, not about the flower.
You do know the last light is potentially going to be dead soon.
Why does that matter? Why does that matter? She has all the time in the world.
I know, she does, but the last light doesn't.
Wait, why doesn't he have... What do you mean he's gonna be dead soon?
He plans on unleashing a purification of the entire island. Apparently it would destroy everything on it, and considering he'd have to be on the island to conduct the ritual that would most likely include him. If there were another way to cleanse this island, which I hope there is, then he won't have to lose his life. But he knows the situation more than we. So while you may have all the time in the world to sit on your laurels and not give him those pretty little leaves, he may
Okay, I
not.
see what you're saying, Mrs. Lady. I'm sorry.
Wait, she's trying to give you advice. She's not scolding you.
No. Hello, Mr. Man.
Hello.
Mr. Candleman. This is a lucky leaf. I want you to have it. It's good luck.
He turns to you and looks to it and says, "Oh, why, thank you."
It
And
has been with me through many time streams.
he takes it very gingerly and very carefully, despite, his armored visage, and he puts it away carefully in his bag and rummages a bit before pulling out a small symbol of a sun attached to a necklace and says, "How about a gift for a gift then?"
What's? It's very pretty. It looks
It
like that's one up there.
Yes, it emulates the life-giving light source of this world. Take it.
Okay,
In much
she's
the
gonna
same
grab
vein
it.
that your leaf is lucky, that is lucky to me.
I'm gonna tie it around my wrist.
All right.
So it acts as a bracelet. I put this around my wrist, so it's a bracelet. Now I'm very lucky. But if I get unlucky, I could just rewind time. Until I get lucky. But I think that's bad. I don't know how Mr. Hourglass would feel about it.
Messing with time is a very dangerous thing, you know.
I know, and it chose me. So I'm trying to be responsible and learn it. I have a whole notebook that talks about the hourglass so far.
There are beings made of time that would not be happy that you are meddling with their affairs.
I know I should meet them so I could talk to them and they can help me understand why this hourglass chose me. Or what if the beings of time are bad now and corrupted and I have to stop them?
Suppose only time will tell in that regard.
I see what you did there.
He smiles a bit to that.
Hubert,
Yes.
I am getting an odd sensation that I want to be stabbed, and I don't like it.
He just looks to you and raises an eyebrow.
I don't know why, but I feel like I do not wish to be in this existence anymore.
Why is that?
I don't know.
Are you okay? I could rewind time to see if something was bothering us.
Nope, I am perfectly fine. We should probably...
I hit myself with a spell earlier.
You did what now?
Yeah.
All
any
right.
case.
I think we should get going before anything else pops up. And she starts briskly walking along.
Hubert will follow.
Wait, I haven't tested my spellbook since then, right?
No, you haven't.
When they're walking along, she's gonna cast a ray of frost towards the wall right there.
Ray of Frost seems to go off without a hitch.
Woo!
Beastie's
That's good.
gonna walk back, pick up Gloom Hollow, pick up Thorgrim, follow everyone else.
As they're walking, George is gonna look towards the place she fired at. This isn't any. This is just a wall, right? This isn't like an actual cave entrance or anything.
It's
Damn
just
it,
a wall.
I was gonna do that.
Okay.
The dwarf and the elf are carried aloft by the goblin.
As Goblin carries Dwarf and Elf, Dwarf will bob Goblin on head, and Elf will say, a moment. Do not carry. Please put me down.
Huh? She stops.
Moment of great urgency.
Okay. She puts her down.
She switches to Goblin and says, so I may not have mentioned this earlier, but, we may be eventually meeting someone from my family.
Oh, cool.
That's debatable. I do not know of their purpose, but I did see their companion nearby, and we did have a bit of a rapport. And that if my sibling's companion is nearby, then my sibling should be nearby as well, as the two never separate. So it is something I should warn all of you about, that we should be meeting someone very soon that may or may not be either very happy to see me or want to kill me.
If you're trying to warn all of us, then why are you speaking only in Goblin? That's beastly.
Because you're the one carrying me.
I put you down already, woman. Are you so
Oh.
bereft with the joy of meeting your sibling that you're unable to ascertain your current position anymore?
I suppose I was.
The fact that you can say these words in Goblin and not Common is very surprising. Hubert says to you.
That is because I am speaking my native tongue, my dear Gloomy. I am more eloquent in my native tongue than in a language that I only heard secondhand. The fact that I am able to communicate to you with this language is a testament to my intelligence, if you ask me.
Dear God, she's a thespian and goblin. Anyway, a moment for all of you. She swaps back to common. We may find ourselves in the company of someone very dear to me, and I do not know of their current opinion of me, so I think we should all be wary.
Are they going to attack us?
Possibly. They are usually measured and very to the point, but I have not seen them in a great many years, and I do not know of their current thought processes.
I see.
I suppose now is as good a time as any to say I'm not an only child. Thorgrim goes, "You're what?"
Well, all things Wait, you're an only child?
I'm not an only child.
I was going to say.
I have a sibling.
Yes, I know. It's why I was confused. But I think it is a good idea that we possibly find them sooner rather than later, given what the Last Light plans on doing.
Either they will find us or we will find them.
Let's hope that it occurs soon.
It should. They are quite capable and astute, so we should meet up at some point very soon. I was just warning you all in case things turned less than pleasant.
Well, thank you for the warning.
You're welcome. Oh God, there's more of you. Yes, there's more of me. I lived in a colony of me. You know this. Oh yeah. Shit.
Ah, so it's like elf nest, says BC.
Essentially, yes. But
So who elf nest broodmother?
that would be let me put up a name generator. That would be Matron Zilhana. Just one moment. It's not letting me copy pasta. Hold on. Come on. No, just that. Ugh, fuck it. I'll type it. Fine. She was quite strict, and while still maintaining that general lack of emotion that most of my kind possesses. I'm actually a black sheep in more ways than I've already mentioned. One way that I have not mentioned is I am the only one of our colony who actually goes by female pronouns. Everyone else in my colony is non-binary.
Please don't just go over and pat her on the thigh.
How do you feel about type 1, type 2 bodies?
Oh my god!
I don't want to talk about it. Ugh, that discourse. Ah.
Mother of mercy.
Oh, by the way, they are a wizard like I am, but not at the same time. They typically wield a weapon with great efficiency.
Well,
And they cast magic via the sword.
They typically cast magic and then rush into battle when the situation calls for it. They are.
Sounds
Sorry.
sounds like a spell slinger.
Yes.
A blade singer. Sorry.
Indeed. They thought that melding might and magic was efficient.
And I think it's pretty good.
I believe they would agree with you, and I believe you two would get along swimmingly if he's not out to kill me or any of you. Sorry.
Why would they be here to kill you?
I don't know. It's been many, many years since we have conversed, and I do not know of their opinion of me at this moment.
Are they a researcher like you?
Yes,
That maybe
And-
they're here to research the disease and not kill you?
I would hope so.
I mean, if it's
Because since you said you saw their familiar first, that means and implies they were here before we were.
That would make a lot of sense. So perhaps me being here is just a happy coincidence.
Most likely.
Let's hope it is only that. Perhaps my paranoia is simply getting the best of me. We have a lot on our plate.
George, look at what you have done.
me,
Yes, she has inherited your overthinking.
I mean, I don't know if that's inherited when she's a researcher and I'm not. She's required to think a lot more than I do.
I've been around all of you too long, and she says that with an obvious smile.
Yeah, if anything, I've been around you too long, Ado, because I constantly am now saying one more thing.
That's
More often
because
than
you
I
all
used to.
have a lot to say.
You are. It's incredibly amusing.
We should probably keep going along, but thank you for the warning.
Indeed. Just be prepared.
Yes.
Be prepared.
Yeah. Damn it, Jeremy.
Oh, and one more thing.
Ah, there it is.
George, your shoe's untied. And she keeps going.
George will check his shoe to make sure it is not untied.
It is untied.
He will roll his eyes and will start tying his shoe.
Alright.
And as he reaches down to tie his shoe, Thorgrim will walk over and just gently smack George in the back of the head. Gotcha.
Wait, so where is the river? Northwest?
Technically, it's northwest, north, or northeast, as it's a river.
Alright.
It's
Because
this line here, yeah.
You can.
I thought that
say
was a
it.
path.
Is it?
It is a river.
Alright.
Okay.
But,
As you
do you think we could end for... Oh boy. Alright. Hell of a cliffhanger.
Yeah. We will end after I describe the scene to y'all.
This is a good cliffhanger ending spot.
As you are all walking, you notice that the smell in the air is getting a bit thicker, but you're not sure what with. The sun is continuing to set, and the area is getting darker. And as you walk along, you do in fact find the Red River that George was speaking of. However, you can immediately tell it is not red with blood. On the bottom of the river, there is a fleshy substance shimmering shimmering pink at the bottom of the running water, spreading who knows how far and slightly inched up onto the shoreline.
Jesus Christ.
And we can end there.
What the
Ew,
fuck,
ew,
Jordan?
ew.
I thought we were
Ew.
playing Dungeons and Dragons, not Call of Cthulhu.
Ew.
No, this is Resident Evil. Fuck you.
It's an Elden Ring boss! It's an Elden Ring boss! Everyone jump in!
What Elden Ring boss is this?
The one, fucking Melania!
This is not Scarlet Rot. This is beyond Scarlet Rot.
This is
Melania's
Scarlet
about to
Rot!
come crawling out
Scarlet
of that river.
Hell no.
Phase
Must be
2
the
the worst
person we fight
phase.
next week. It's gonna be Melania just coming out of the river.
Oh,
Oh,
fuck
God.
It's gonna be that one Bloodborne boss that crawls onto the beach and like,
Oh, the Orphan of Cause?
yes,
It's
that
gonna be
yeah.
it's gonna be both Melania and the Orphan of Cause.
Yeah,
Oh,
that
I
would just
love
end
Elden
the
Ring.
campaign right there.
Hey, thanks for watching this video until the end. If you want to see more of my stuff, click on either the vids on screen or check out my YouTube channel. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and check the description for more places to follow me. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll be seeing you.